Hi YouTube, it's Dysphonic here and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'll be showing you guys one of the simplest and easiest way to make a deep house beat. So I'll be making this beat with you guys from scratch, so make sure to watch every second of the video. The steps are very easy to learn, follow and implement. You just need to make sure that you have the right quality sample pack, and by that I mean a sample pack that has quality sounds that are gonna help you develop and build a nice drum kit where all the sounds and elements will be sounding well together, the frequencies will be well balanced, and you won't really have to do a lot of mixing on the sounds, and your sounds won't be sounding messy, muddy and noisy. So I have a plug for you guys. I've left a link down the description and also under the comments for you guys to go download my deep house sample pack, and I have quality sounds for you guys. So from that sample pack, I've extracted some sounds that I'll be using for this tutorial so that I don't have to go and dig some nice sounds to use on this video in order for us to save time. Don't forget to like, subscribe and comment. Otherwise, let's get into today's video. So first thing first, we're gonna take our BPM to 116. That's a typical BPM for deep house songs. And then we'll take our swing to about 30% or 28%. The swing helps with time delay. You'll notice the difference on your shakers and your hi-hats. Then we will start with a nice kick, nice soft and punchy kick, and then we'll plug in each 4 steps and reduce the volume a bit. And then from there we'll add a clap. So I have 2 claps here, we can layer them up together, and I'll fill in each 8 steps, copy, paste. So because I've layered the 2 sounds together and they're all hitting at the same time, I'll pan one to the left and pan one to the right. Decrease the volume like that. Now let's add some congas. Now we'll add some heads. Now I'll do the same thing with the heads. Because I'm layering them together, I'll pan one to the left and pan one to the right. With the heads, I'll just fill each 4 steps. And then I'll fill each 4 steps also like that. And then I'll shift 2 units to the right. Shift 2 units to the right also there. Now that's a nice quality deep house drum kit, and I'll just switch everything to song mode, and then I'll add a Foley, and then with the Foley I'll take down the volume like that, and then I'll just duplicate everything there, duplicate that. And then I'll just loop that section over there since the Foley is going beyond past that mark over there. Now let's move on to our sounds. What I'll do is I'll add pattern 2, and then I'll make pattern 2 to be that long, and I'll duplicate it like that, and then I'll loop this section over here. Now we'll go to pattern 2. And then first thing first, we'll populate our sampler. To populate our sampler is filling in all possible notes that will plug in our beat. We'll just go for any random root note. So I'll go for A, A4, and then A5, transpose an octave upward, A6, and then A7, and then let's go down A3 and then A2. A2. So I've highlighted all possible notes that I will use in my song. This is just a guideline. I call these ghost notes. So this is what will be helping me to stay in key and in tone with my song. So this is exactly the sequence that I follow when I build my song. So next thing I will add is my pads. So I'll go look for a nice and smooth pad from Nexus. Okay, let's reduce the volume. And then we can play the song like that. Now I'll be plugging in a sequence of notes over here. Okay, let's take that upward. It's easy to start with the root note, and the root note is A. Okay, let's find another note. Okay, in order for you guys to hear the real tone of these notes that will be plugged in, I think it's better we start with something like FL keys, then we can just copy and paste after we are done. So let me paste everything on FL keys, then just for us to hear the real taste of the notes that we are plugging. Let me mute this. Okay, now that we are happy with the sequence of the first layer of notes that we have, we can plug in the second layer. All right, I think I like that. Okay, I like that. Now let's go for the third layer. Okay. I like that. Let's go for the fourth layer. Okay, let's go for the fifth layer. Okay, that sounds off. Okay, let me also activate the strum. Hold Alt plus S, sorry. And then accept. So what the strum does is that it humanizes your chords. So when you're plugging your chords on FL Studio, everything is sounding computerized. All notes are hitting at the same time, which rarely or never really happens in the real world. In the real world, you have your fingers punching different notes at different times, and also the velocity is never really the same. You don't hit them with the same hardness. Now with the velocity, what I'm gonna do is that I'll just manually decrease them like that to make them sound softer. So I'll copy this and now paste it on my Nexus, and then I'll mute that and lock its status. Now I'll get something plugged from Nexus. Let's go for plugged sounds. Just wanna add some emphasis on the chords that I already have. So these are the sounds I usually use. What I'll do is I'll cut what I have there on the sampler and paste it on pattern 3. Now I can continue on my beat. Okay, let me increase the volume. Okay, and then I'll take that over there and make sure that everything aligns with what I had on my chords. And then I'll also take this over there and make sure that everything is aligning. Take the velocities a bit up. And then here, because there's some quietness going over there, I'll just duplicate this and bring it over there. And then what I'll do now is everything is sounding nice. I just need to add a nice smooth sub bass line. I'll add an E flute. Now a nice starting point with the E flute will be to follow the guidelines that we have from our chords. So what I'll do is I'll just be plugging in some short or plugged notes. So this is how I prefer building up my bass line for deep house beats. I lay the sequence over here for the first chord, and then now I can just bring the sequence over here to the second chord, and then I bring it over to the third chord, and then that's what I'll have. So everything is still sounding on a higher tone, which is not a problem, but I know it's in key. So what I'll just do at the end is I'll just transpose everything downward to give it that, you know, subtone. So I'm just doing this I'm just building the drum kit on a higher octave like this, so that I make sure that I hear the real taste behind the notes, the real tone behind the notes, so that I make sure that everything is in key. Remember, it's difficult to hear the true tone of a note when it's on a very low octave. So let me do that. Okay, now I can transpose everything downward. Okay, I can transpose it downward again. Now it has a very low end to it, so I think I should supplement it with the log drum. So I'll just add a dysphonic log drum. So this is one of my presets. You guys can go download my log drum presets. I'll just copy and paste. And then now the next thing I'll do is I'll just add, let's add a melody. I'll go to leads. Okay, let's go to plucked sounds. And then I'll just reduce the volume. Okay, now let's open up the piano roll and just plug in a sequence of notes just to give it that melody. Okay, that's a good melody. Now we can lower down the volume again. Now let's add something to supplement the volume from this other favorite plugin of mine. Let's use Gravity S. We can just look for a nice preset to use. Let's go for something like a trumpet. Okay, that'll be okay. Now let's lower down the volume. Okay, cool. Okay. Okay, this is a nice melody that we built here for our deep house beat. Just in case you want to go through the FLP, I'll leave a link down the description for you guys to download it and go through it at your own time. But otherwise, let's continue with the beat. Let's add a brass element. Let's use Nexus. Or let's add a lead actually. Let's see this one. Okay, that sounds fine. Let's lower down the volume. And then with this, what I'll do is I'll just copy what I have over here and bring it down over here. Control V to paste. But then it's sounding harsh. So what I'm gonna do is that I will automate the cutoff. I'll automate the release as well. So let me go to Tools, Last Tweaked, and then create, let me tweak this. And then I go to Tools, Last Tweaked, and then create automation clip. So it's gonna create the automation clip for the cutoff frequency. And then let me tweak the release button, the release knob. Then go to Last Tweaked and then create automation clip. It's gonna create the automation clip for the release knob. And then what I'm gonna do here is also I'll bring in some FX sounds. I'll bring in that, and then I'll also bring in that, right? And then I'll just make sure to make a nice mini bridge over here. So I'll bring all these sounds over here. Reduce the volume, and then reduce the volume also. You can hear that it's sounding very harsh. So what I'll do is I'll build on that harshness towards the climax, and I'll do the same for the release. And then once it goes to the peak, I will just reduce the harsh end of it and then build it again towards that side. And then I'll do the same for the release. Let me do that. Okay. Okay, now let's play everything together with our song. Let me go here and solo and then unsolo, and then now let's press play. And then I think what we can also do to wrap this track up is we can add a mini vocal chop. I think there is some on FL Studio vocals. Don't give me feeling. Okay, that sounds good. Let's drop it over there, and then we can just bring it over here on our mini break side, and then do that, and then we can lower down the volume. Okay, let's just lower down the pitch. Okay, now let's take it to the mixer, and then on the mixer, what we're gonna do is we'll add an EQ. The first EQ will be to chop the low frequencies and just to tweak a bit on the mid ranges. And then we can separate the stereo field. And then next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add a reverb, and then we will increase the dry, decrease the wet, and then increase the room size. And the next thing we can do is add a delay. Let's add this delay over here, and then activate the ping pong. Then just reduce the delay volume over there. And what we can also do is add a fruity multi-band compressor, and then let's add a vocal preset over there. We can reduce the volume, or we can keep it the same, just reduce the volume over here. Okay, what we can also do now is, duplicate this, bring it down over here, and then we make it unique, right? Once we've made it unique, is that we can just press backspace. After pressing backspace, it's going to allow you to tweak it a bit, to nudge it a bit like that. And then you just offset the two like that. You can bring it either forward or backward. Let me take it backward like that, and then press backspace again to activate the snap function. And then now we will take it to a separate track on the mixer, apply a different processing on it. Let's add an EQ, chop the lows, chop the highs, do that, and then add a reverb, do the same thing, almost the same thing, and then add a delay. We can add a lot of delay on this one, like that. And then we can also add, what is this? A limiter, add some compression. Okay, loud on the volume. Okay, what I'll then do is I will, make it unique again, but then on this one, I'll reverse it, right? I'll do the same for, no, it's fine. I can just use only that one and then bring it over there. Right, and then on track number 1, I'll just add a limiter and then make sure to compress it. Just check the ratio to about 5. Just make sure you see some purple area over there to make sure that the compression is really working. And then now let's play everything all together. So that's it for today's video, guys. Let me know down in the comments if you found it to be very helpful. If you guys enjoyed the beat, I'll leave a link down the description for you guys to go and download it. Otherwise, I'll catch you on my next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Cheers.